Now, ladies and gentlemen, just a warning, this video does contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen Capitne America Civil War yet, please do not watch the rest of this video. Thank you.
So, yeah, I'd say it's definitely that in my opinion. Like, that could change in the future, but the reason I say that is because I think it's just as good as Winter Soldier, and I thought Winter Soldier was the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie we've had so far, so that's definitely something I can't deny about that.
I think the best kind of moment out of the whole movie, besides the action scenes, was the last scene where you see Bucky and Cap hop off the aircraft, whatever that thing was.
Oh,
and they were reminiscing about the past, and then they made a joke and laughed as they both stepped off it. I think that was a pretty decent scene.
I think that was also a pretty good scene because they haven't really done... We didn't really get to see that kind of scene in Winter Soldier because he was, well, you know, brainwashed. And
well, he still is, but hopefully with Black Panther's help, they will be able to get it out of him eventually, and he'll make an appearance.
Should I mention that Black Panther was actually one of the best characters in the entire film?
Yeah, and it didn't take us long to figure out who he was.
Oh, definitely. Like, because when I didn't really know much about Black Panther before the film. Like, I knew he existed, I knew he was a member of the Avengers at some point, but he was like that one character which I just didn't know anything about. And now that I've seen the movie, I'm more excited for the Black Panther movie when it comes out in 2018.
That is true.
I did write a little thing about his character, if it's okay if I could read that.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so this is what I said. Another new face was Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, or better known as the Black Panther. I look at Boseman's portrayal as the character that the most vengeance and nobility. He's unlike any of the other characters we've seen before in my eyes, and the big deal is, it's not even his film, yet he has such an impact on it. I'm not a huge fan of Black Panther, but this film has definitely given me more of a chance to take more of a liking to him. He's not really on Stark's side, but more neutral like he was in the comics, but that's the main reason he's involved, is because of his vengeance towards Bucky after he's suspected of killing his father. He'll do whatever it takes to get his vengeance, but in the end he realizes he can't do it. Even when he confronts Zemo at the end, he realizes that vengeance won't bring back the people they love. In terms of his relationship with characters like Black Widow, he shares interesting chemistry and characterization. However, we won't have seen until his solo film in 2018. Oh, and his fight scenes are awesome.
Yeah, especially his adamantium claws that come out.
I was very skeptical about how that was going to work, and then they came out and I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're just retracting to the suit a bit. That's all.
It's basically Marvel Studios' way of saying, well, we can't get Wolverine, but we can give you really cool retractable claws for Black Panther.
Well, most cats in real life have retractable claws anyway.
I know, but you know what I mean.
On a slight bit of trivia, you know you remember the motorcycle scene through the tunnel?
Yeah.
I can't remember which car company, but they used that scene as part of their ad for a car. Can't remember which one though.
It's Audi.
Audi, that's it, yeah.
I wrote that in my review, actually. I wrote that in my review. I said, you might remember that highway chase from the Audi ad.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
You can definitely tell there's a lot of marketing for this film as well, because, you know, you're going to have your marketing somewhere. Another one of my favorite scenes was, I actually found the scene where Cap and Tony are sitting in the office and they're discussing about the Accords and whether Cap's going to sign them or not, and then he changes his mind. I found that scene was really well written, I'd say. It's like, it's a powerful scene, but at the same time you see that he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it because then he learns that there's consequences regardless, because like they were still holding Wanda in prison in the Avengers base by Vision because they think she's too dangerous. And the thing is, and he just says, specifically I'd say she was still one of my favorite characters in this film, even if it's not about her.
And it's strange that Wanda is the only character in the Avengers that can really defeat Vision. Really.
Yeah, because when you think about it, everyone said Vision is the most powerful character in the film, but he actually isn't.
No.
if you think about it, if Scarlet Witch can bring him down and throw him into the pits of the earth, then I'm pretty sure that nothing's... But there is one character we definitely have to talk about because it was the character that was the one that we were so excited about.
Mm-hmm.
We all know who that is.
On the roof.
Hey, everyone.
Spider-Man.
Oh, where do we even begin with that? I think this is just... Jordan said this today to me, and I actually agreed with him. He thinks it's the best put-to-film Spider-Man we've had since the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot when you think about it, because Spider-Man is such...
well, the original Spider-Man live-action movie came out early 90s, I think, if I remember correctly.
Early 2000s. I think it was 2001 or 2002.
Something like that, yeah.
And it's been a long time since... Oh, yeah, and it's been a long time since we've had that, and in the end, I think it's great that they finally got a teenager to play the role.
Yeah.
Like, Tobey Maguire is a great actor, and Andrew Garfield did a pretty good job, but sadly, I just think that Tom Holland actually has it better because he actually plays a more enjoyable Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I must say, the most awkward scene with Spider-Man was when Tony was hitting on Aunt May.
Fun fact, there's a meme about that because they were in the same movie together.
Yeah, I know. But that was probably the most awkward scene I can think of.
Oh, I know, right? It's definitely but I do like how he's appeared as that mentor figure because because Robert Downey Jr. is set to appear in Spider-Man Homecoming as well, and that's...
Well, as the last cutscene showed with his Spider-Man's new piece of Tony Stark tech.
Yeah, definitely. Like that I didn't really get that, but at the same time I did. Like, I know what it means. It means it's definitely setting up the next film, and that maybe... And it might show that he's going to keep in contact with him, keep an eye on him. Because there was that was actually one thing I never really asked about. Is the fact that... Did Spider-Man sign for the Accords as well? Because we don't actually know.
No, I think the Accords were for only the Avengers at the moment.
Well, we might find out about that in a few weeks because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is set to kind of have a link to it as well. And because, that's set in the same world, you'd think that they'd be part of it because of the whole Inhuman problem.
True.
But of course, I'd have to tell you in a few weeks when that episode actually happens.
Yeah.
And yeah, but in all honesty, I think that he made that, like you said with Ant-Man, I think that Spider-Man made that airport scene one of the best parts of the movie because all the dialogue he says in that, like that moment where he references Star Wars just for that one, like, I was like, oh yeah, you can just tell that Disney's Disney's definitely doing more referencing their new franchise.
That's true.
But I don't know. But there is actually one thing I wanted to discuss in full length, and that was about the villain, Zemo. And because this is the thing, it's the most controversial part in terms of the comparison with Batman v Superman. So, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. I must say, for a villain, he's the most normal villain with no real link to an evil organization or an agenda of sorts. I mean, other than the whole some form of connection. So, why is he similar to Lex Luthor? Simple. He has a similar plan to cause a fight between Iron Man and Captain America. Not saying this is a bad thing, because at the same time, these two movies were written at a different time, and Lex was a very different character who just wanted to prove he was better in terms of power. Zemo, on the other hand, here's that word again, vengeance. But for a similar reason as to why T'Challa and Tony want vengeance. Because he lost his family, and who's to blame? The Avengers, of course. That is original for... Exactly. That is original for a villain, and I like that because every other villain has been evil for the sake of being evil. Don't you agree?
That is very true.
Because as much as we all love Loki, as much as we all love Ultron, as much as we love maybe a few of the other villains, they really have all just been evil for the sake of it.
Well, in Loki's case, he just wants power, and he got it in the Ragnarok, so...